Hello, friends. This is Shyam Krishnamurthy from the interview portal. I'm back this week for another round of sessions on offbeat careers. Today, we are going to talk about careers in illustration. Very interesting career. Illustration is the art of sketching. Many students as kids, right? You've all tried a hand at drawing, right? It's sketching. So sketching is where it's a very simple thing where you use a pencil to draw a sketch of a person, of an animal, of a tiger or a lion or a tree or a house. It's a very creative skill. You have imagined something in your mind, and you want to bring that imagination onto a piece of paper. But over a period of time, many students think that sketching is just a skill, it's just a hobby, and it you cannot do anything with it. But you couldn't be more wrong. In today's world, sketching and illustration is another word for sketching, more professional, has varied and diverse applications in various careers. So we're going to look at some of them through our interviews. As usual, our website, theinterviewportal.com, these are all our interviews. All the interviews are categorized by different areas. If you click on a specific area, you can go to interviews on that area. So let's do a control F and say illustration, and you can see clearly there is an option, there's a category called illustration. I click here and it's going to take us to a category of interviews focused on illustration. We look at three or four of them. If you're really interested in this area and what professionals are doing in this area, feel free to go into this page and look at all the interviews. The first interviews for scientific illustrator. You'd be wondering, what is the relation between science and illustration? There's a big relationship. As we all know, scientists do a lot of research, right? And a lot of that research appears abstract, which we think that we don't understand what scientists do. They do a lot of abstract stuff in the lab. But over the last few decades, scientists have realized the importance of applications of their research in the real world. So they want to make sure that society is able to understand the benefits of the research they are doing, whether it is research in healthcare or technology or aviation or anything else, right? So lot of scientists who have done their PhD and who are also good in illustration have realized that they want to pursue a career in scientific illustration, where they not only understand science because of their PhD, but they're also good in sketching. So what they do is they are like interface between scientists on one hand and society on the other hand, so that they can break down complex concepts in science which can be communicated in a very interesting way to the society. Not only society but also kids, to students, to schools, so that kids understand the beauty of science and how it can be applied in the real world. So this person actually is a PhD who's actually working in impact science, where he works with various scientists, various companies to break down complex concepts into illustrations and drawings to disseminate the research to the common public. The next interviews of a person in who's an art director for a gaming company. Gaming, you all have played games, right? Games are so interesting, they are so engaging. But have you ever thought how those games are designed? How do they come to us? What is the process in building a game? It's a very interesting process. If you're interested, go through his interview. But in a nutshell, every game starts with a high level vision. It could be a product manager for that game who has a high level vision of what that game should be, and then that game is kind of given certain specifications by a game designer. The game designer breaks down that vision into a certain set of design tasks that are to be accomplished by the design team. Then the design team sits with the art director, the art direction team, who gives the creative perspective to the design. How should the design look on screen? What will kids like? Who is the target audience? What they like? What is the look and feel of the game? So this is where the art director comes in to kind of give a look and feel to the game through illustrations, through sketches on paper, concept sketches they are called, in 2 dimension. So that, and going back and forth with the design team, with the product management team, you iteratively come and agree on a particular look and feel of the game, and from there you start bringing the game to life through 2D and 3D, through 2D sketches and 3D models, right? That's how a game actually comes to us. All those games start with a vision which are finally come to life through a art director team. It's a very, very collaborative process. Go through this interview to understand how your sketching could actually play a role in game design. Next is the career of character rigger. Rigging is a concept in animation where you use digital bones to make that character move. If you're trying to, move, trying to show a tiger which is running, which is behind, but not tiger, even a human being that is running, or an animal that is trying to catch another animal, right? These are all what are called rigging, because when you draw a sketch on 2D and convert that sketch into 3D, that sketch has to move, right, to make it look real. That movement is brought about by the concept of rigging by giving it digital bones. So it all starts with a sketch and bringing that sketch to life through rigging. So this person is actually a character animator who uses the concept of rigging to bring animations to life, to bring characters to life, whether it's an animal or a human being. So he was in his childhood, he was very good in sketching, illustration, and then he decided to further advance his skills in rigging, and now works as an animation company where he uses his skill, interest in sketching, illustration and rigging to bring animated characters to life through digital bones. Look at this interview. Then you have a graphic designer. Graphic designing touches every aspect of our lives, whether we go to Amazon retail to see all those buttons, to see all those interesting even that add to cart option in Amazon comes from animation, from graphic design, where you have a small cart like icon which tells you that you can add whatever you select to a cart. So this person, professional, is a graphic designer who actually works for healthcare companies, coming up with concepts for their promotions. Healthcare companies come up with new products all the time. It could be prosthetics, it could be medicines, it could be anything else, like what do you say, any medical design company which is coming up with devices, which is coming up with diagnostic tools, medicines, or anything else related to healthcare, or even online companies that are trying to promote various things. They want graphic designers who could think of a concept first. How do you promote this thing, right? You think of a concept, you work with different designers to finalize the concept and then bring that concept to life through icons, through graphic designs. So he's a graphic designer applying illustrations in businesses for promotions or healthcare. And then we also have finally a fashion designer who actually works on silhouettes and fashion designs for different fashion concepts. Silhouettes is basically giving shape through illustrations. Whenever, before you come up with a new fashion design, you want to sketch that fashion design in the form of a silhouette. Silhouette gives you the shape for the design, initial basic shape in a sketch, in an illustration on paper. So it is so easy. It's a very powerful concept because it first allows you to finalize the look and feel of that fashion concept in paper and work with different designers to make sure that that is what they want to see in the final product. And once they have finalized the silhouette, you start going into the textile aspect, the material aspect, and the other aspects of look and feel to bring it to life. Cloth, the material, the look and feel. Is it wool? Is it silk? Is it cotton? What kind of fabric? What kind of colors? All that comes much after the silhouette is determined. So this professional also started as an illustrator and then decided to apply her skills in illustration in fashion design. So these are some examples of a few careers that we have in illustration, touching gaming, fashion, healthcare, and science illustration, right? So if you're really interested in more, go through this wonderful career and you'll find many applications. Hope today's session was interesting to all those students who are interested in a career in illustration. We hope to see you next time with a different career. Thank you.